Welcome back to another episode of The Zone. This week we're taking a look at Saints Row 4, and for those of you that don't already know what Saints Row is, it's a sandbox style RPG game based around the President of the United States and the gang that he runs, the gang of the 3rd Street Saints, and him being, without too many spoilers, but him being having kidnapped by an alien race, put into a computer simulation, bit like the Matrix, and fighting his way back out for the survival of the human race. It's a fairly broad spectrum of possibilities as far as games go, is one way to put it, but that's what Saints Row is known for. It's always been a fun, quirky, unique game, so let's get straight into it and show you what this one plays out like.
So, my thoughts on Saints Row 4? Well, you don't have to play the previous games to play Saints Row 4, and for that reason, they've had to add in some earlier tutorial sections to the game right at the start to familiarise people with the controls and to teach people that haven't played it before the controls. As a result, the first couple of hours can be a little bit slow and a little bit dreary because it does feel like stuff you've been doing over and over again and stuff you're used to and experienced with. So if you can dig through those and keep going, what's on the other side of it is great. There are still some good jokes, there are still some funny moments in those earlier bits, so you're not going to be completely bored out of your mind, and it is still solid Saints Row gameplay, so if you can ignore the fact it's a tutorial, you'll love it. Once you get through on the other side, the game is amazing. The huge sandbox part of the game is amazing. Yes, there's a few island bits and pieces, but it's not like some previous games where you had to unlock island by island. You can go anywhere you want from the start. Admittedly, the earlier quests are going to try and keep you around one area and expand it out, but if you don't want to do the quest and you just want to go and unlock parts of the map and take over the city from the start, unlocking shops and stores as you go, you can go anywhere. Just run around, do what you want. That's the point of a sandbox game, and Saints Row does it very, very well. Once you do start questing, yes, you have your story, your core quest mode, and you can go straight through that and power into it and just follow the story all the way through if you want. But there's, at all points that I've experienced so far, about 5 or 6 side quests that I can go with, which will unlock you silly things like silly outfits or silly weapons or the dubstep weapon as I come across, or new cars, or just fun little bits and pieces that you don't have to do to keep the story going, but I want to do it. Now this may just be me, but it's things that I want to go off and explore. I want to do some other bits. I want to do something different rather than just, here's the story, I'm just going to go through the story, because that's not what Saints Row is about. Saints Row is about the little secrets. It's about the extras. It's about the fun side games and the mini games and the races and the voiceovers. That's one of the best things. You can't play this game with music running or with 20 people on TeamSpeak. You need to be able to hear the voiceovers, or at the very least read the subtitles, because some of the stuff that the voice acting comes out with is absolutely hilarious. And like during the tutorial, I failed bits of the game because I was in fits of laughter and just couldn't stop giggling. Ultimately, Saints Row 4 is Saints Row through and through. There are a couple of new mechanics added in, a couple of the superpowered things that have gone through, which could, in theory, drive it that bit too far over the top. And I've heard many people, and I saw many people in the run-up before release saying, alright, Saints Row is meant to be silly, but superpowers is a bit over the top and stupid. It's not. They do them very well. They limit them very nicely. They are not crazy overpowered. It just adds a whole nother level of fun to the game. And if you want to, it is still possible to go through and play this game without using any superpowers whatsoever. So if they really piss you off that much, just don't use them and play it how you want to. That's the biggest thing with Saints Row. You can play it how you want to, and it doesn't force anything else onto you. Ultimately, Saints Row 4, if you're still on the fence about buying it, go and buy this game. It is a massive amount of fun. You don't have to have played the original Saints Row to get into it. Yes, there's some backstory, there's some more stuff in there if you really want to get into the lore of things, but if you're just looking for a time sink that you can laugh and joke and have some fun on your own or with a co-op partner, Saints Row 4 is that perfect game.
So, Saints Row 4, that's what I took from it. You've obviously had a couple of weeks to play it yourself. Now, to those of you that have, please leave your comments down below. Let us know what you thought of gameplay, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, or if you had any other opinions towards it. I want to know what you think. But there's also a competition being run over the last 2 weeks, those of you that have been watching will know, for your chance to win a copy of Saints Row 4 yourself. Now, we asked you, with Saints Row being known for its quirky, fun, unique weapons, the dubstep gun being the most recent one, what would you guys like to see added into future Saints Rows? What would be your dream Saints Row weapon? Now, there were some very good submissions. It was a bit of a tough choice. I had to rope in my editors to try and round it out and get a solid answer. But ultimately, we decided to go with the rocket-propelled chainsaw. This was submitted by Ohman, O-H-M-A-N. Should be written right underneath me, hopefully. If that is you, keep an eye on your Alien Marino account. You'll be receiving a message very, very shortly. And congratulations. A couple of honourable mentions then for our competition. We've got Sosco's Orgasmo Ray, which gave us quite a giggle here in the editor's room, but didn't quite make the cut this time around. And Alien Cat's Aging Gun, that could either age you up or down, depending on the setting you choose at the click of a button. I think that could be a bit of fun, but Chainsaw Gun still took home the bacon this time around. If, unfortunately, we didn't choose your answer this time, I apologise, but there can only be one winner. We will have more competitions being run throughout the series of shows, one of which will be introduced in next week's episode, which, coincidentally, will be reviewing Rome Total War 2. So, if that's your cup of tea, come and tune in. If it's not, come tune in anyway. We'll see if we can make it your cup of tea. I'm very excited about Rome Total War 2. I cannot wait to get my hands in it, and I cannot wait to show it to you guys. So, do stick around and come back next week for that show. Now remember guys, just because the competition's over doesn't mean that discussion thread has to die. If unfortunately we didn't choose your weapon this time, or if you've missed it and you've now got an idea for a sneak peek weapon that you would like to add into Saints Row, just go into the thread, post it in, and nonetheless there's still going to be plenty of discussion going on. We still want to hear what your thoughts are, and as I said, there'll be more competitions coming in the future, so you'll see those threads opening up as and when they come by. So keep an eye on it, and don't forget to join the group itself, eu.alienmarina.com/thezone, and that will keep you up to date with everything that's coming in this show in the coming weeks, and in the past weeks if you've missed any episodes. So, once again guys, thanks for stopping by, see you next week.